Okay, so I got a new tarot deck. It was recommended to me by the absolutely gorgeous, amazing, I adore her, girl next door tarot, because she knows I love my plants. Called it's called the Herbcrafters Tarot. The artwork is by Joanna Powell Colbert or Colbert, I don't know. And the deck is by Letitia Guthrie. So I'm super excited to share this with you, and I'm going to do so by doing a card for the collective. I want to tell you that this deck is very different than a regular tarot deck, so I am going to be using the book. So bear with me because I'm going to be, it's not, you guys are used to me intuiting, I have most of the cards, some of the meanings pretty much memorized, so you're used to just kind of me sharing my intuitive view on the card, but in this case I'm actually going to be reading it. If you have not already done so, I posted a photo of the 3 cards for you to choose one from, and we're going to kind of go through it together. Okay, so take a breath. Card 1, 2, or 3. Make your choice if you haven't already done so, and here we go. Okay, the first card that I pulled, this is important. I want to tell you guys the question that I asked. So the answer that we're looking for here is to the question, how can I use my tiny small voice for the highest good for all? Basically, what can I do for the world? What should I be doing? How can I make a change? How can I have the best impact? How can I use my voice? How should I be using my voice? How can I use my voice for the world, for the highest good for all, for the greatest good, regardless of where you stand in any issues. This isn't political, this isn't about the current racial injustice movement, but if you would like to apply that here, I would strongly encourage you to. How can I use my tiny small voice to stand up for what's right? Okay, let's get right to it. So the first card that I pulled is Red Clover, and it's labeled as it coincides with 10 of water, which I presume to be 10 of cups. So I want to get up close to this so you guys can see the artwork. It's so pretty. And I do want to confess to you guys that I've been really, really, really drawn to using plant medicine in new ways like this. All the different plants and what they're good for, cleansing and intuition and yada yada. I found this card to be so beautiful. And so I want to tell you too, the book is organized a bit differently, so it's divided up, like all the 10s are in one section, the 4 10s. And they're divided by element, not wands, swords, cups, pentacles, like you might be used to seeing. However, when we do traditional tarot, those are associated with an element. The suits are associated with elements, which is why I'm assuming that this 10 of water is connected to the 10 of cups. That's what it's supposed to be, the 10 of cups. But when you tune in, when you flip to the book, there's a page first about just the 10s. So I'm going to get that. The 10s feature herbs that are used as composting plants and cover crops. Grown for their ability to nourish and restore soil, they are the healers of the earth. These plants are deeply rooted, accumulating nutrients in the dirt as they grow. The parts above ground are cut and strewn over garden beds or made into compost teas. As the stems and leaves break down, the vitamins and minerals they contain are absorbed again back into the earth, creating a rich environment for other plants to thrive. Coming in after 3 mini dramas, the 10s are cards of transition. The herbs of the 10s offer the herb crafter a chance to stop and refill her emotional and spiritual basket before she begins another turn on the wheel. I love it. The earth and her spirit have given what they can, and It is time to allow this oil to restore itself and for the herb crafter to replenish herself. After letting the earth rest, we circle back to the aces, the weeds that are usually the first to grow. So, with regular tarot, tens signify the completion of the journey. So let's see how that goes. Okay, 10 of water, red clover. Taste the nectar of deep nourishment. Serenity rises from the roots of gratitude. Compost brings contentment. Gratitude really stuck out for me there, so I feel like there are some of you that need to sort of dive a little bit deeper into that and maybe cultivate some gratitude practices, some regular gratitude practices like journaling. Fresh red clover blossoms dry on a sunny windowsill. Here, I'll let you look at the picture while I read it. A jar of flowers sit on a table. Some are placed in a glass teapot. A well-loved rainbow mug holds the steaming green tea as bees visit the purple field beyond the window. Serenity is born from nourishment for the soul. Experience the joy and stability of your dreams coming to life. As the deep taproot of red clover restores the soil underground, the bright flowers delight humans and animals above ground. When you feel refreshed and happy, freely share your good fortune with others. Radiate peace and abundance. Red clover needs to be planted only once to flourish on its own. Trust your wishes to unfold without interference. The tea is as delicious as it is healing. The road to well-being can be filled with harmony. It can be this good. And then it says crafting with the 10 of water. And here are some recommendations of action steps you can do to cultivate this energy. Sit on the earth and taste the nectar of red clover flowers, one petal at a time. Dance barefoot with gratitude in a field of clover to find serenity. That's my backyard, a field of clover. Only because I purposely didn't mow it for the bees. It's a true story. Enjoy daily red clover infusion to find contentment and give the used herbs back to the earth. Great. So, what I'm seeing and what I think a good practice would be is if you are able to create a red clover tea. If you want to use the herbs and you're into the herb part of it, I would say create a red clover tea, sit and drink it while you reflect on your gratitude practice, and then toss, whatever's left, like the remains of the tea, back out into the earth or into your compost. And in terms of the energy of that card, I feel like what it's calling on you to do is, use your voice and your happiness and your energy to speak. But when you are coming from a place of contentedness and happiness and gratitude, you'll be better received, right? And that's a message that I should take lately too. Not to be coming from a place of anger or accusation, or assumption, rather than fill your own cup, feel grateful, feel good, feel happy, and then you'll be able to radiate that positive energy out to the world and out to others. Okay, next I am going to go with whoever picked card number 2, and that is Linden. And you can see, I don't know if this will be backwards for you, but it says Iha of Earth. Earth is the sign, is the element for pentacles, I believe. So I'm assuming that this, and I know that Hija means daughter in Spanish, so, or whatever language, I don't know, Hija means daughter. So I'm assuming that this is probably the Page of Pentacles. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, and that's the next segment in the deck, so, in the book. Yeah. So, Ihas are daughters. They represent play, wonder, and innocence. The Iha card features I'll read you about the daughters first. The Iha card features plants that are traditionally children's medicine but can safely be used by all. They're gentle and approachable. These remedies taste delicious and feel light in the body. They're easy and fun to grow. The herbs of the Iha cards lead the Herbcrafter gently onto the path of herbal medicine. They inspire her confidence in her abilities with their tried and true remedies. They invite her to explore through her senses with their delightful colors and textures. The Ehas respond to pages in traditional tarot decks. They represent the curiosity and excitement we experience when beginning our craft. Children approach adventures with playfulness and little commitment to outcome. The Ehas call us to a time of wonder and awe. They are the true teachers, reflecting the elements in their most pure and innocent expression. As guides, they offer the gift of playfulness. So already, be playful, teach. So Linden, let's see what Linden has to offer us. It says that linden is from this particular one is the Tilia species, which I don't know enough about linden to tell you what that means, but let's look at it. Return to a beginner's path, lighthearted as a blossom, grounded as a sheltering tree. Be flexible as you build your future. A child weaves a wattle fence with linden branches around a small garden. It is haphazard and uneven, but effective and useful. She has protected the sage. Sorry, I think there was a bug on my leg or something. I had a tickle. Sorry, I lost my place. She's protected the sage that wants to jump beyond its own borders. A large linden tree stands nearby, covered in cream-colored flowers. The Eha of Earth loves to take on new responsibilities. She approaches her duties with the earnestness of a child, proud to do her part. When faced with difficult work, she chooses reliable allies as companions. She knows that linden is more than just a lovely tea. Like the branches of this beloved tree, she is flexible, willing, and strong. She learns to protect her resources by surrounding them with what she loves. Just as linden flowers provide medicine of joyfulness, she takes on her task with a playful air, crafting with the Eha of Earth. Embrace ancient ways by learning to forage wild food. Harvest fresh linden leaves for salad. Learn to build a wattle fencing from young branches to protect a favorite plant in your garden. Be flexible with your plans. Stop to enjoy iced linden flower tea in the hot summer as you work. The things that stood out the most for this for me were the idea of protecting things that we care about, right? But like it doesn't have to be perfect to get started. You just make it. You don't have to be perfect to use your voice, okay? Be careful you're not causing more harm and choose your words thoughtfully. However, if you want to use your voice, this to me is encouraging you to do it not only in a playful way, in a way that allows you to make mistakes and be imperfect, in a way that's protective. Like this feels to me like standing up for other people, but by being a fun source of lighthearted energy. The other part about what I read that really stood out for me was when it was talking about, let me find it. When faced with difficult work, she chooses reliable allies as companions. I have a few friends that I'm thinking of in particular. We've been having a lot of candid discussions about what's going on in the world and our views on racial injustice, and we've been really checking in with each other to make sure that we are doing good and taking the action steps necessary to do good in this world rather than just be of lip service and swear that we're going to do good. We're checking in with each other to hold each other accountable. And so that's what that made me think of. So when we're talking about how we can use our voice, I think it's important that we have people that we can trust when time gets hard, that will help us, that have the same mission at heart as us. And again, this doesn't necessarily mean about what's going on, but that's what sticks out for me in particular. I will tell you I'm filming this probably several days before I plan on posting it, so maybe the energy will be a little bit different by then, I don't know. But that's where we're at right now, today, as of filming. Okay, and then if you chose number 3, this is the last one, and then I'll let you go. This one, I pulled mugwort, and it tells me right there, I don't have to wonder, it coincides with the High Priestess. So, I know what the High Priestess means, and I love this card. I want to know what the book says because it's so different. Okay, so let's go to the beginning for the major arcana and see if there's like a description about the major arcana. And there is. In traditional tarot decks, the major arcana represents the soul's journey. In the Herbcrafter tarot, we follow a woman on a journey toward a deeper understanding of her gift with plants and her place in the world. The herbs are her guides, providing companionship, medicine, and magic. By assigning the plants to particular cards, we do not mean to bind a plant to one archetype. It is not that mugwort is always the high priestess. Look at the high bar card as in the example. It is not that mugwort always is the high priestess. Rather, a plant plays a particular role at that particular time of the Herbcrafters encounter. The herbs featured in the major arcana have a long history of magical and ritual use. Each card of the major arcana shows an altar that honors both the plants and their traditional tarot archetype. The Herbcrafter makes offerings of gratitude for the gifts and insights the plants give her. Sometimes the altars are mandalas of devotion or carefully created earth art. Other times the cards depict altars arising in the midst of herb crafting. So you can see kind of here when we look at the card how I think that this is one of the altars that sort of made itself. To me it looks like that's like a piece of fabric, maybe something stitched on in cloth work. You can see the mugwort, but she has lots of little offerings to leave as, you know, there's like a little pocket with a piece of paper coming out of it and some string. Okay, so the High Priestess is only number 2 in the major arcana, so she's still early in her journey. So let's see what mugwort has to do with that. Follow the fragrance of mystery, awaken ancient memory, divine messages in dreams and visions. An unfinished mugwort dream pillow of stars and moons. Oh, so it's an unfinished pillow. That's why it has a pocket and why it's stitched up on the ends. An unfinished mugwort dream pillow of stars and moons lies on a blue silk cloth. The thread, still attached to the needle, loops around curled leaves. A small scroll tied with satin ribbon is tucked inside. 3 rose hips split open, revealing their seeds, near vials of copal and storax resin. The moon phase pendant is draped across the table. The mystery summons the awakening one. Answer the call. Known for its aromatic leaves, mugwort enhances dreams and strengthens intuition. Just as the bitter taste of the tea is hard to swallow, what is revealed may be unpleasant. Healing is sure to come once your visions are acknowledged. The silver leaves of mugwort easily hide the plant from all but the best foragers. This is a secret between you and the dream time. You need not share. I have some very strong thoughts that Spirit is about what this means for you. To follow the fragrance of mystery, seek your native mugwort in the wild. Make a dream pillow with mugwort tucked inside to invite lucid dreaming. Burn mugwort incense before a journaling session to decipher messages in dreams and visions. I have not personally used mugwort in my practice, but it's been recommended to me several times. And I feel, now I want you to know too that this is actually the card that I chose for myself personally. So I feel for me that there's a strong message there that I need to sort of get in touch with the medicine of mugwort. I also feel like I was getting a message from Spirit in terms of what that description means for many of us. And I think it is that a lot of us, before we can use our voice, need to do some reflection and have some private time where we are really honestly looking at our own inner truth, myself included, before we speak up. In the last couple of weeks, you know, I've spoken out of anger. I've made mistakes and accusations where maybe I shouldn't have, and I ended up being wrong. That being said, I do think it's important to use your voice. Just make sure that you're using your voice. in such a way that your own issues are not becoming the forefront of what you're saying, that your own internalized biases are not pushing out the meaning of what you're saying. You may have a really well-intended, smart comment to make that could be healing and helpful for people. And if you are not in tune enough with your own feelings, that message, when it is delivered, can come out clouded by your own feelings, your own thoughts, maybe anger, maybe, your own biases that you have about people. So I feel like this card is calling on us to sort of keep that stuff in mind when we are going to be speaking. Make sure that we're doing it from a place where we're not speaking from our personal hurt, where we're not taking hurt on as our own, that we're speaking from either a healed place or a place where we are sort of removing ourselves and our emotion from the situation. Okay, this ended up being a much longer video than I intended it to be, but thank you for sort of checking out this new deck with me. I hope that the card that you chose resonated with you.